Hey guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks and Happy New Year. Not that I took a little break. I've been sick. I don't know if you can still hear my voice is still messed up, but I had some wicked head cold. I tried to bang out a couple of videos. They weren't that great, I don't think. And then I got that stomach virus. So that and then I got sick again with something else. So yeah, I'm finally on the mends and back on the Fremo module. I don't think I'm going to have this ready for Springfield, but I don't know. So I'm just going to keep going at it, and hopefully I do get it done by Springfield. Might go to Springfield before the last video drops. I don't know. So we're down to the track laying part. And I'm going to have a link to the Fremo standards in the description below. And I'll tell you where everything's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go. What I'm lucky is I have a ruler, which is exactly 2 inches wide. So this actually makes it where I just have to line up one side and lay it in. I clamp it down, and then I can lay the track. I can lay two sides of the ballast, two sides of the roadbed. It actually works out pretty good. This is the Walters track. I've never used this stuff before. I will say one thing: it is really nice looking track. But man, if you thought the Atlas track was bendy, this is a little bit. This is pretty bendy. It doesn't really hold. It doesn't really hold a curve. It doesn't. I don't know. Doesn't really bother me because pretty much this is going to be straight. But I'm probably going to wind up using this or micro engineering on my. I'm going to do I think we're going to do an ON30 shelf layout in the other room, starting sometime this year. But first, we're going to get this done, and we're going to try to get it to a show. All right, so we're going to start laying roadbed. I like to use Tight Bond. I like to use Tight Bond for everything. Why? Because I just use Tight Bond. I have a lot of it. You can use Elmer's on this. I'm putting cork to cork. And I'm going to tell you that once this goes down, this ain't coming up. You're going to wind up ripping this whole thing apart. You'd be better off just throwing this thing out. And if you guys watch the way I built this thing ain't coming apart. So here we go. Off camera, of course, I did it off camera only because I just needed to just focus on this and not having to move the camera around and get the right angles and get the lighting and all this other crud. But I marked the ends and I marked this top piece. This is the centerpiece. Okay. Really, the only thing that matters is this side over here. This side over here, not so much. Why? Because this piece is going to a second module, one of my modules. So wherever this track goes, doesn't matter. As long as the other end that goes to the rest of the modules in the show, everything's in the right spot, that's all that matters. So that's what we're going to try to do. I don't like having butt ends like this. So we're going to work that out. I tried something new this time, which I never did before, and I didn't think about it, where I took this razor knife, and instead of just folding this apart and peeling it apart and having that one cruddy edge, I actually laid it down, and I ran that knife in there, and it actually got this really, really nice. I'm going to put the better end facing out, the better side facing out. You all know what I'm talking about. And the one side that looks good and the other side that looks, I don't like it. Somewhere this, I forgot who it was, and I know someone that used it, and I can't get in touch with him. He has roadbed that is actually perfect slope on the outside. It comes in sloped on both sides and then cut straight down the middle. And then you just break it apart to put your flexes in there. And it's not the Woodland Scenics foam stuff, which guys told me not to use. And then I'm watching a whole thing on Fremo the other day, and half the modules had that on there. So that's another thing. But yeah, let's get into laying this down, and we'll move on from there. All right, guys, so I got this laid in. I don't know who makes this tape. This is a 3M. I know who makes this tape is 3M. I hate it. I hate it. I don't know what it is. It's this, I don't know, sharp line or whatever they call it stuff. It's terrible. It doesn't stick to anything. It doesn't even stick to finished wood. So I get the other stuff, which I just couldn't find my roll I had around here. But that stuff works all the time. All right, so we got the old Gold Bond here. I had a rag back. I got this held in place. It's not super duper clamped down, but it's enough to keep this from moving around. I really hate this tape. It's the 3M sharp line stuff. It does not stick to anything. I don't even know if it sticks to the walls. I just know that whenever I use it, it doesn't stick to the finished wood. I got poly on this. It doesn't stick to it. So we're going to use the old original Type-On 1. I got a rag. You can use Elmer's glue. Like I said earlier, you can even use Mod Podge. I was going to put this down with Alex, but I decided to go this route. Go back the way I know how to do it. We will be using the Alex silicone to put the track down. You want to get a nice coat. You want to be somewhat even, but doesn't have to be perfect. You want a nice coat of it on it. You want a relatively even coat. Since this is cork to cork, you kind of do want it a little thick, but you don't have to worry about it, running off of this thing. You want to get your edges. All right. I got these I got these and the T-pins. I don't know. These work all right. I'm just gonna use the T-pins. If you have push pins seem to work a little bit better. I just want this to hold this in place. Try to go every 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches. Or 4 inches, I don't know what I'm doing. And since this is like cork to cork, this is like really drying up quick. So you want to really make sure you get this butted up nice in here. Not that it's drying per se, it's definitely setting up. This is already pretty tacky. The cork pulls the moisture out too. So if the ends don't stick down, we come back and we'll re-glue them down. It happens for some reason. I'm gonna let this dry, probably overnight. I'm actually going to work, so this is gonna sit for 24 hours. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do the big reveal. It's one side. All right, guys, so I just had a little interruption. Now I'm running behind on this because this stuff had a couple of minutes of airtime. So I really gotta get this one glued down. All right, guys, so I'm gonna let this dry. I might get back to it tonight, or I might get back to it when I come home from work. Not 100% sure yet, but that's basically it. The straight edge is exactly 2 inches wide. I'm actually contemplating sanding this down just a tad and make it a little bit shorter, a little bit narrower. But I mean, this works perfect for this. I can make up the adjustments in the track. I put the 2 nice finished edges on the outside all the way down. That should give me a better looking, ballast. I hate doing ballast, but I really like it when it looks good. When ballast is done right, it really sets a layout apart from this. It basically turns a mediocre layout into a really nice looking layout. I might have to come in here and sand these edges. This cork might have came down a little bit, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, guys, so we'll be back. I got 2 more of these to do. The middle one's going to be a real pain. Only because it's going to be a real pain. I'm gonna do this the way I'm doing this, and then I'll worry about it later. I have a slight problem with my legs. We'll discuss that in another video. I gotta put a brace in. I thought they were going to be good the way they are because all my other stuff is solid the way they are. But then again, all my other stuff is bolted to the modules. They're not hinged. So I thought I had everything tight, nice and tight, but apparently stretched out something a little bit, and they're a little not as secure as I like. So we'll do a video on the cross brace for that, but that's going to be later on. It's not that big of a deal, and we're gonna get this track laid. I'm using the Walter stuff I said earlier, and we're gonna start figuring this out. Yep. So guys, so we're back. It about 45 minutes, and it dried up pretty good. I got a little ahead of myself. I started laying this track. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to turn the tape on. So here we are. Gonna get this. All right. I put the short piece over here, the long piece over here. I do the long piece over there, the short piece over there. So it breaks it up a little bit. I kind of wanted. I don't know. It's just me. Probably just me. You probably do it however you want to do it. But that's just the way I did it. Might be the wrong way. Might be the right way. I don't know. But it's the way I did it. Of course, when I want the tape to peel up, it don't peel up. So I think after I get this all laid in and before I put the track on, I think I'm going to come in here and paint this and probably paint over this ballast, over this road bed too. Not sure. I might not. If I don't paint over the road bed and everything, I'm definitely going to come in here and seal up this cork and get this top ready for scenery before I do the track work. So the standards state that the track has to be centered on the module, 26-inch end, and that makes it 13 inches. And then the track has to be center line 2 inches apart. I'm going to try to get this thing squared perfectly in here, but I can't guarantee it. I'm really not that great of a guy. Doing my track work is pretty good, I think, but there are guys out there that make this look like an art form. I'm not them. I make it look like a comic book. Like I said, sometimes these ends gotta get a little extra shoved in there. That's what we're gonna do. That's why I hate these when you peel them apart like that to get that edge. I never cut them before. I never thought about it. This time I did it, and it actually came out nice. I'm gonna be using that more often. There's a little technique someone showed me a while back. Doesn't make it great. But the other thing is, when you look at it, you would think that since cut in half, it'd be symmetrical, but they're not. One side's got a better slope than the other. A little hung over on this side, but that's okay. I got a little extra on this side too. Kind of what I wanted. Yeah. I mean, you saw how quick this goes. Once you start going, you get it down pretty quick, and it's really not that bad. You know, it is what it is. I'll worry about those when I get home, but let's get the rest of this tapped in. All right, guys, so that's pretty much the roadbed on this module. Not all the way, because as you know, there's going to be a switch probably about here. I did a number 8 because they said number 8 had to be what you had to use. That's the consensus. The reality is I could have used a number 6, but I went with the number 8. It's not a passing siding. It's actually a industrial siding. That's just the way a Long Island Railroad runs. Somebody, I think, has a crossover that they're not going to use. I'm probably going to try to get it from them. I don't know how much they want for it, but that's going to be in the center section. It's going to be a double crossover, so it's going to be nice. Besides that, that's really it. I mean, what I'll do is I'll fast mow the other 2 modules when I bring them in here to do them. But yeah, that'll probably be tomorrow, Sunday when I get home. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Next, we'll be laying in these beautiful rails and these switches. My only problem is that I need 8 feet to lay this stuff out. I need to let this out 8 feet, and I need to get it level so I can clamp it down. No, that's right, clip. I need to get... Hey, guys, so that's that. We got the roadbed laid down on the 2 modules that have to get done. So I got them laid out. Everything's looking nice and nice. And so for now, we're gonna call this this done. We're gonna lay out some of this rail on here. I'm probably gonna paint this top before I lay the rail down. And I just got to look at the wiring standards, and I need to talk to a couple of people about the wiring. That's nothing. I'm old hack at wiring. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is there's going to be siding is going to be on this side. I'm going to run the whole length to the other side, the other module, and that siding I'm actually thinking of putting it on either end scale roadbed or directly down on top of the cork. That's going to get done with cinders. I just like the way that looks. It gives it that little contrast, like a nice defined, you know, this is not the main line. Looking around on Long Island, there's some of them that are higher. Go figure. Some of them are lower, some are the same height, but I'm thinking of putting this down onto either onto the end scale roadbed, which is about half the thickness of this, or directly on here. And it's gonna get filled out with cinder. I'm gonna keep the code 83 because I just don't have code 70 or code 55. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna figure that out. I'm gonna get once I get the I'm gonna lay out the 2 main lines and the 2 switches. Then I'll come back in and worry about the siding. So I'm going to get the main lines done and the switches in right away. We're going to be using these from Model Tech. They're Pro Track aligners. That's the other reason why I got these down, because I've heard 2 ways of doing this. One way of doing it is soldering these rails tight to each other, tight on the end of these, file them down so they're smooth at the end, and then lining everything up. Or taking the rails out, taking the pieces out of the middle of this rail, because obviously I ain't got it, it's not long enough. Figure out the length I need to bridge the 2. Take the ties out from the middle, solder those in where it's perfectly where they need to be, and then cut the rail. I don't know. So I've never used these before, and I've seen guys do it all different ways. But I'm leaning probably towards cutting the rail, because I've seen a couple of places where the guys have cut the rail. There's going to be a very fine gap. I have a razor saw, so it'll be a very fine gap. And somewhere along the lines, I have these power drops, power feeders. Help me give it a little more of a clean line. My personal opinion is every section of track that I put on gets a drop. That's just me. You know, there's gonna be 3 feet. You know, I got 12 feet, so there's gonna be over four drops. I'm gonna lay this probably end to end, or I might put these two together, put these on, line those up, and then fit the rest of the rail over here. I don't know. So I got to sit down and really think about it, but I need to have this leveled out. So this is probably going upstairs onto my dining room table. Yeah, their wife doesn't like that, but it's for my art. So I said that with a straight face. All right, guys, so that's that. Once again, thanks for watching. Happy New Year. And as always, guys, I appreciate it that you guys watch and put up my shenanigans and listen to my ramblings and nonsense. And as always, I'll catch you later.